not our longest term partner, but our most valuable from big money partner, in which they've done so much for us as investors, and hopefully more when they sell the company, but also what we feel we've done for them. And I don't say this at all arrogantly, but I think with many of the companies, as Adam said, we've moved the dial a lot. In about 18 months, we've raised and given DAKOTA and his company, Golden Eagle, $3.3 million. And it's done great. It is a closed raise until 5 more minutes. We're opening the raise. He will give you the details to it. Obviously, for the company to sell at the value that they and we all want, it has to be a national brand. You can't, no one's gonna just go buy an awesome Western region vodka. It's gotta be national. And the growth from California, Arizona, Nevada, being that I was just in Nevada, seeing how big it is, it's Caesars, it's everywhere. And then in Texas, and he just got into Texas. Their rep's gonna be here tonight, Reagan, she's absolutely awesome, but they've been here 2 months in Texas. They're like in 60 restaurants. And he knows this, I've literally bullied some of the restaurants that my wife and I frequent, and we basically are sending receipts and bills and work dinners of where we're going, because we're not going to them because they don't have Golden Eagle, because they didn't want it. And then they say, okay, you can have Golden Eagle. So I'm a big bluffer, because we paid a lot of money for this event, and we threatened to pull out, which there was impossible to do, but we just did anyway. We threatened to pull out if they didn't have Golden Eagle vodka here. And they initially said no, and we're like, okay, we'll just cancel our contract. They're like, okay, you can have it for just the event. We're like, no, it has to be forever. Like, South Lake, Weston has to have Golden Eagle. Or we're pulling out, we're already talking to the Delta Marriott, which we weren't. And they said, okay, so now we're in. So I think, I don't want to say they, I think me personally have funded all of Texas's vodka. And I'm excited about it, but I'm really excited about the growth of where we're going. So DAKOTA is an awesome young entrepreneur, great CEO. I really appreciate his passion, his vision. So if you can do what you do, tell us about this awesome new raise coming in. We have more, well, obviously there's most money in PIG, 3.1 or 3.3 mil, but I believe we have 96 investors of our 117 are with Golden Eagle. And then I have a stat tonight, I'll share it, but I think 66 of those 96 not only went in once, they liked how it was growing, and they went in twice. And we have 5 Golden Eagle investors that went in 4 different times. So they liked it, they put more money, they see that it's growth over in Texas now, so they're really just riding a hot hand. So I think that's awesome. So of the 117 we have, you have almost everyone, which is more reason why you don't even talk for 30 minutes today. So talk about the good stuff, and then again, as soon as we're done, I'll just say a quick little goodbye. We'll talk about something for tonight, for you to know, and then we'll do the solar thing, and then we gotta go, because we gotta set this thing up. Cool? DAKOTA? Yep.
Beautiful stuff. Thank you guys so much for having all of us here. Dan, thank you for your consummate partnership. We started out trying to raise, this was December 2023. Our goal was $100,000, and we raised $3.3 million on a year. So what started as just a little vodka brand and a little boutique private equity company is turning into a pretty big thing. So we couldn't do it without you. I don't know if you feel the same. So just the good stuff. Raise your hand. I need to know, because obviously when you're selling to a room, we're talking to a room of a diverse audience. I want to know who I'm talking to. Those who are Golden Eagle investors, currently, actively raise your hand. Those who are not? Yeah, that's it. No,
about to be.
No, I'm just kidding. No, so it feels pretty much like we have a room full of investors. So with that, I'm just gonna say the facts. So really exciting things happening right now. In order for Golden Eagle to achieve their growth goals, which is obviously become a national brand, how do you be a nationally syndicated brand on every back bar, on every shelf? Money, big money. So the last year, I've been aggressively focused on developing institutional capital partnerships. Obviously, PIG, from a capitalization strategy, is very much has been our seed partner, right? Family, friends, founders. This is sort of a cultural partnership that we have, right? I feel that you guys are the family, friends, money that we have, right? Now we're going to step into institutional type partnerships, right? So what we have done is raise $4.3 million in an initial seed round. We took that $4.3 million and put it to market and inventory. We have entered 4 markets: California, Nevada, Texas, and Arizona. And in the last 12 months since raising with PIG, we have achieved 450% growth from where we sit here last year. So we have 450 active partnerships, 456, something like this, with about 550 to 600 by the time we wrap up this year. retail partnerships, total line approvals, AVP approvals. We're working on national Walmart approval right now. Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, we won their national RFP program, which is pretty special. They bring on one outside brand a year, and we were the one brand. So there's 12 vodka brands that run in the Caesar's RFP proposal. We won that RFP. Caesar's kind of carries some gravity. So because of the Caesar's RFP, we got access to the Win partnership, which is very special. So we just got invited to the Win RFP, which is super exciting. I'm in a couple outlets in the Win already, but just similar as Siggy was mentioning, once you kind of get that halo effect within Las Vegas, everybody gets this phenomenon of feeling left out. So we're starting to accomplish that in Las Vegas. But ultimately, I entered 4 markets, 500 retail partnerships, and acquired distribution with 2 out of the 3 largest distributors in the country, partnerships with RNDC, just signed a deal with Breakout for the state of Arizona, with their first right of refusal on any other future markets. So they want to take us to Illinois next year. We're going to be excited about that. They're going to take us to Florida next year. We're going to be excited about that, and then they're looking at a couple other markets that they're prioritizing for growth. So the exciting news, as I'm focused on obviously top line growth over the last year, we've been aggressively pursuing institutional capital, and we have, as I was flying in on the plane, I got a DocuSign confirmation. We signed a preliminary term sheet and an MOU with a fund out of New York for a $25 million investment into the deal. That's going to be the current preliminary term sheet is $1.30. So everybody in here, as you can see on the document that you see in front of you, I tried to provide this for anybody who may not be involved in Golden Eagle already. Dan said, don't tell us a story about the product, don't tell us a story about anything, just tell us the facts. So here's the facts. First raise was $4.3 million. It was intended to be 5. We closed it early because we got off the ground with an RNDC partnership. For those of you who don't know, didn't materialize in the state. RNDC withdrew out of the state of California doing business altogether. It was too expensive, not profitable for them. They lost Tito's, they lost Jack Daniels, Sazerac, Pernod Ricard. $26 billion in losses RNDC reported from the withdrawal from California. So absolutely insane. So we closed the raise early, and obviously we aggressively opened up other markets. Since then, we attracted obviously Breakthrough as a replacement distributor in other markets, which they're aggressively hot on, so we're excited about. So we have ultimately three phases. The first raise was done at 74 cents. The next institutional raise will be done anywhere between, we're calling it $1.30, that's what the term sheet says now. Our floor for that sell is going to be $1.10, and the max we're really chasing is $1.60. Why $25 million? Our business strategy is to achieve apex growth as fast as we can. That's how we create value, right? Top line growth creates enterprise value. So we're going to enter as many markets as we possibly can to get distribution as wide as we possibly can, to get revenues as high as you possibly can, to exit the multiple as high as you possibly can, right? The only way to do that is through cash injection. It costs about $1 million to enter a big meaty market. $4 million raised, and what we've been able to do is the reason why we have attracted the capital that we are. $4 million in our industry is no money at all, right? So what we've been able to do, we've hired 12 full-time sales reps. We obviously have our management team, but our 12 full-time sales reps in the last year have created 100% of the value that we've created. We haven't paid a distributor $1. We haven't paid $1 in top-line advertising, 0 top-of-funnel activity. The only thing we have done is create field value. So our sales reps in the last 12 months have accomplished 25,000 retail account visits, done 2,000 buyer presentations. We have closed 500 retail partnerships. We have touched liquid to lips through demos, activations, sponsorships, and events. To 250,000 people have put Golden Eagle in their mouth, and that's how we win. We're winning because we're winning at the ground, we're winning at the grass. We're selling a very unique product. Golden Eagle is not another Tito's, it's not another Grey Goose, it's not another Kettle One, it's not a neutral vodka. That's the entire reason the company exists, because I was a vodka hater, turned into the guy that said, how can we introduce character to vodka? So if you aren't a Golden Eagle investor, haven't heard the story, it's really simple. Most vodkas distill their product 6 times because they want to remove all the natural flavor of the grain. Golden Eagle distills a single time because we want to leave in the natural flavor. That was illegal 3 years ago. So Golden Eagle's route to market was stimulated by a college project that I did, my master's thesis. I wrote an opportunity project about, is there an opportunity in a saturated market? That's what you're supposed to do, find an opportunity. Regulatory shift in vodka production allowed us to do this. So pre-2021, vodka has always had to produce the exact same way, which is high production, remove obviously all the impurities that they say that a grain gives you, to give you ultimately a product across every product in the category that tastes the exact same. Right? Every vodka you taste, Tito's, Kettle and Belgian, Grey Goose, put them all next to each other, they taste like ethanol. They taste the exact same. So how do you differentiate a product in a category? You do it on brand value and you do it on price. In 2021, the TTB, the regulatory body of beverage alcohol, redefined vodka entirely, removing the mandatory requirement for it to be neutral, tasteless, odorless, and without character. And I stumbled upon this fact by doing research for this college project, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of a thing. So is this, okay, that's why vodka has always sucked, right? So how can we reverse engineer that? How can we bring character to the space? It's not by what we do more, it's actually what we do less. So single distillation, single filtration from a very unique grain gives us a flavorful product. So everybody who had said, this was what, a year and a half now, everybody who said, yeah, Dakota's not gonna work. We can now, all in this room, anybody who told you don't invest in that stupid vodka thing, yeah, I'm looking at you two over there. Don't invest in that stupid vodka thing, it's not gonna work. I completely agree with you. We're definitely the crazy ones who are walking in a $50 billion industry and everything is predicated and hinges on distribution. The market is calling for uniqueness. The market is calling for unique products. Obviously, big supplier companies own the market, they always have. But in 2020, when COVID hit, the big supplier partners stopped building brands. So when the big suppliers stopped building brands, that's when we said, okay, what are they doing now? They're only buying brands. Acquisitions have been tenfold, every segment, bourbon, whiskey, vodka, et cetera, all of these companies are buying, not building. It's too expensive for them to build, so they're just gonna buy. What are they buying off of? They're buying off revenue, they're buying off distribution. So no distribution doesn't matter. We always know this. Golden Eagle, why we've been pursuing the money that we have is because $25 million is gonna fund our entry into 22 markets across the entire country. So the two institutions we're talking to, one of them is a fund out of New York, they're backed by a bank in India and a bank in the UK, and then the other company that we're talking to is a private funding company. We privately fund Sazerac, one of the largest supplier partners, which is a potential acquisition partner for Golden Eagle. So pretty aggressively dating the Sazerac partner, but that's actively happening right now. So the goal with the $5 million is really simple. We're raising we'll call it a bridge round or a pre-Series A, as figure reverse to it. Is this money is the bridge operation gap for the next year while we continue to close and work on this Series A capital. Those MOUs are in place. They have, and I'm going to tell you guys this transparently, which is what creates the funding urgency for where we are right now. We're raising the $25 million at $1.30. $25 million at $1.30 is 45% of the entire company. 45% of the entire company poses what? Risk of losing control. Why do you lose control? Because the CEO and the leadership doesn't know what they're doing and we're not creating value. Am I afraid of that? No, I'm not afraid of that. So what are we doing with the $5 million is ultimately preserving and insulating control of the company. So we're putting and raising $5 million at 85 cents, which is 50% less than what we're about to sell it for here in an undisclosed amount of months for the sort of our last, pre-seed opportunity to fund with crowds like this, right? So we've raised 74 cents. If you've got it at 74 cents, we have a small window of time and an opportunity to increase the share position, reinvest in the company, bring your friends, family, partners into this ahead of our alignment with a larger capital fund partner. The exciting part for you guys is you got in at 74 cents. We're going to raise at $1.30, and $1.30 injection immediate. 25 million at $1.30 immediately takes our tactical value to $50 million. So it's very exciting for you guys because you funded at a time when the entire risk was present, right? We funded it as a founder group when it was only risk. You guys came in when we had, I don't know what it was, Dan, 20, 30 accounts. And then from there, over the last, however many, but 18 months, we've gone from 30 accounts to 500 partnerships in full markets, right? So lots of growth, and obviously you guys took the risk, so we're extremely appreciative of you for all of that. If you want to continue to incur that risk, we open right now at 85 cents. So I don't know how long this is going to be open for. The fund in New York is coming to our office for an entire week, the first week of September, for diligence practice. So we have that inked, and they're on their way. September 3rd, they get to our office. They want to fund the $5 million pre-Series A as well. So we're aggressively working to privately fund that $5 million outside of that partnership. Of course, they want control, and of course, they're going to try to negotiate for that. That's not an option for us, so we will fund the $5 million, period. It's not an option. So if you think, is Dakota going to take the $5 million from the private equity? It's not an option. We're not going to do it. So we will not engage the private equity money until we close the $5 million. However many dollars of that $5 million comes from this room right here, extremely grateful and extremely excited, but I will not take money from that private equity group until I fund $5 million outside the circle, period. Period. So anybody in this room have opportunities to reinvest yourselves, bring your friends and family in. This is an awesome opportunity to get into what we know is going to be an immediate share price lift. And the risk obviously is less than was a greater, right? I had an awesome question and an awesome conversation with some guys last night in the bar. And he said, what's the ultimate risk for Golden Eagle? Or what's the ultimate risk and how do we fail? I asked him, what is your definition of failure? He said, well, my definition of failure is I lose all of my money I put in the Golden Eagle. Okay, well, we're past that risk. So the failure threshold is gone. I would say the greatest risk to our deal at present is undercapitalization. Our speed is entirely predicated on how much money we have. We're in the distribution business, we move pallets and boxes. However many markets we want to go, how fast we want to go is predicated on the capital we have access to, and it's as simple as that. We have distribution partnerships, we have training systems, we have marketing strategies, we have media partners, we have training systems, and we have a brand that has won 35 International Spirit Awards in 12 months. The product is very special, and everybody knows it. Grey Goose has not had a body in market in 9 years in California, and they put 8 bodies in market last month. What does that tell you? It tells you we're doing something right. We're winning at the ground level, okay? So we don't go in, we're not paying for placements. Grey Goose goes in and says, how much is it going to cost me to get Golden Eagle off the menu? And the buyer says, what? No, I love Reagan. I love Bree. I love Hunter. Because we're winning at the relationship level with the buyer. So they're not willing, of course, there's a lot of people that are going to go, yeah, $2,000, we'll take Golden Eagle off the menu. But the addressable market is so large that we are going to outspeed and outservice our partners every time because larger supplier companies are not investing in boots on the ground field marketing, they're investing in top line media dollars and brand awareness. This is why we achieved national distribution alignment with not one but 2 houses at the early stage that we did. They said, Dakota, what's your marketing strategy? And my response was sales. Our sales team is our marketing plan. So every body in market visits 10 accounts a day, 50 accounts a week, doing 4 to 6 buyer presentations a week, opening new accounts, and spending money supporting the staff that pours the product. If I'm one guy in California selling Golden Eagle, how many cases can I sell a day? 1, 10? But if I recruit a bartender and another bartender, now I'm selling 20, 40, and another bartender and another bartender. We're insulating brand ambassador advocacy teams in these markets that are putting Golden Eagle in the forefront of the guests saying, let me change your mind about vodka, because it's always been the same. So we train bartenders every day. Every one of our reps, 5 staff trainings a week minimum. 5 a week minimum is their number. How do they train the staff? They stand in the room, taste it side by side, Tito's and Grey Goose. They say, vodka's always been the same until now. I know you hate vodka because the trade hates vodka. They're all passionate about bourbon and tequila. Side by side, taste it. It doesn't burn, right? No, it doesn't burn. What is this? It can't be vodka. Exactly. Next time somebody asks for a martini, you're going to respond with one simple phrase. Have you tried Golden Eagle? This is not rocket science. It really is not. You train servers and bartenders to ask people if they have tried it, and when you try it, it is what? It is better. So how do you win? High velocity, high volume, liquid to lips, the place it matters most, and that's the field. So when we have made it as far as we have made it with $4 million, not only our distribution partners, but the institutional partners going, got it, you know how to win the field. RNDC signed a national deal with us because when we said to the question, what is your marketing plan? We said 12 bodies in California. They said, okay, cool. It wasn't even a conversation because the wholesale channel is no longer in the business of building and selling brands. They're in the business of moving cases and boxes. The wholesale channel used to be in the brand building business. Then 3 million brands came to market because everybody wanted to create a passion project, right? It's my new tequila. Like, you gotta go to Javier's and have it. Like, everybody's building a brand now. The market is completely full of a bunch of civilian-led passion projects, as we call it. Our team is neither a civilian-led brand, nor is it a passion project. Every person in our organization works full-time on this business, and has been in this business before. Right? I'm the youngest guy on our crew. In the entire organization, I'm the youngest guy. Maybe the most passionate guy, but I'm not afraid to learning my hands dirty. So if you don't know, I've been in the industry my whole life. Opened a successful bar and restaurant, was a beverage director for a Del Frisco's company for 10 years. And before that, my parents had been in the business, so it's really all I know. And this just kind of became an organic next step to the opportunity, right? So I'm really not going to give you any more information because Dan told me I couldn't do it in 10 minutes. is maybe, what were we at, 12, 15? But happy to take questions. You know, let's just spend the rest of the time until Dan says we're done. We can just take Q&A. But I think I've talked to most everybody in this room over the last couple of days, so super grateful for that. Our entire team, myself, Fig, honestly, let me give you 2 minutes on the team. I am so honored to be surrounded by guys that are so much better than me, that make this team, this business, and this company better every single day. If you said, why should I invest in Golden Eagle? I said, it's the jockey, not the horse. And it's not this one, it's those ones. And that's the plan every single day, is to continue recruiting. Just like Siggy said, right? It's like, at the end of the day, the business comes in phases. 0 to 10 million is one thing, 10 to 50 is another, 50 to $1 billion is another. And our greatest sales strategy is recruiting, and that's what we're focused on and disciplined on. My first objective is let's get the money, the right money to get to scale and critical mass as fast as possible. And then the second phase is recruiting, right? We're having conversations with the senior vice president of Kettle One at present. How are we going to get him on board the day we get the $25 million in? And then we're going to recruit Keith's best friend, who's the vice president of the East for Kettle One, and then we're just going to take the whole executive team. But yeah, recruiting is our greatest strategy, and these guys are the reason we're here. Like I was a bartender before this, you guys. Literally a beverage director is a glorified bartender who controls costs and runs some staff and runs some scheduling. Yeah, I went to grad school, but the only reason I am where I am is because of the people I'm surrounded by. John Hansen, Carlos Oregon, Rob, Dako, Bill, these guys have been in business, exited businesses, lead huge teams, and I learned from them. So we're insulated with amazing people, and if you're getting in Golden Eagle, it's a long haul, but the one thing you can trust is this organization will be managed exceptionally well, administrated exceptionally well, organized exceptionally well, we'll go to market extremely disciplined, which I hope we've proved that to you with the $4 million that we've been responsible stewards of so far, and we're going to continue to do that. Whether you invest another $5, another $100,000, you bring in your aunts and uncles who fund the rest of the $5 million in 30 days, amazing. We're exceptionally grateful and just really happy that you guys are as a part of this, right? Like, it's just crazy to stand here right now and think that, 2 years ago everybody was saying you're crazy, and now we're standing here going, okay, it's working, and it's just a matter of how big and how fast. With that $25 million, just so you guys know, we're looking at developing a production campus. We haven't identified the market we're looking to do so yet. That production campus, we have some conversations, 2 LOIs from a couple large hospitality groups. One of them I can share the name of, the other one, 3 large hospitality groups, one of them I can share the name of. Can't share the name of, 2 I can, if you know Javier's Cantina. They're actively working on selling their organization at present, and then Casa Madera, Toca Madera, which is Noble 33 Group. So that's 30 locations between those high volume Mexican restaurants, and then another nightclub, a group that's an international group out of Las Vegas. One of our board members owns a distillery in Mexico and produces all of the private label tequila for those 3 restaurant groups. They're looking for somebody to make vodka for those brands. So our operation is, how can we take those opportunities and build a manufacturing facility and production house that ultimately is led by the brand face of Golden Eagle, but contract distills and produces for those hospitality groups as well. So there's a bunch of opportunities, and it's really, when we talk about exit strategy, I'll give you the simple strategy. We want to create the viability for an exit to occur as fast as possible. Exits are possible right now. We received offers on our business already, just based on the brand. That's ultimately what we're selling, is the IP to the brand. We're really leading a category shift, which is why we're getting such magnetic attraction, because vodka is stale, vodka is stagnant, vodka is the same. Every brand in our category has reached apex maturity. Tito's is the only one achieving growth. Everybody else is holistically mature. So they're looking at us as an opportunity to really redefine the category entirely. Vodka is vodka is vodka is vodka. Golden Eagle's not vodka, we're character vodka. So because the redefinition, we entered and were first to market with a very unique product that is being received by the trades so well, they're looking at this going, Golden Eagle is an opportunity to take the brand and the IP and really build another $60 billion segment. Vodka is over here, this is neutral vodka. Flavored vodka is $20 billion. What can character vodka be? We're not a vodka, we're a character vodka. And that's how we're positioning ourselves with our strategic buyers, our partners, and our retail partners. And they say, oh, well, no, we have plenty of vodkas. No, you don't. You don't have character vodka yet. Show me the distilled one time from a very dense grain with a single filtration process where the product tastes naturally flavorful and sweet, an authentic, old world expression of the category. Go to Europe, spend some time, this is what vodka tastes like. Can't find it in the US. and everybody sees it's nothing innovative here. It's just taking the category opportunity and being first to market, right? So, yeah, that's all I got. Any questions? I know there's a bunch.
Sure. Dakota, we've talked a number of times, you talked about cases, and then when you get to certain cases, that's when you really become exit strategy marketable. Where did you end in 24 in terms of cases moved? With this new market growth so far, where are you about midpoint of 2025, and where do you think you'll be at the end of the year?
Yeah, we'll be at about 6,000 cases. Next year, we're looking at 10,000 cases. Obviously, once you bring on we were not anticipating to bring on $25 million in capital this early. This was a vision that was going to be 3 years from now, right? Raise 5 million, get the valuation as high as possible. But because of the attractive financial partners and distributors are attracted to Golden Eagle because of the category that it's creating. So we're attracting cash opportunities earlier on. If we receive this capital successfully in 2026, that money is going into markets. We're not opening 3 markets, we're opening 6. So if I say 10,000 cases is the goal, that could be 25,000 cases. Money moves boxes, right? So we're on track to reach the goals on the paper that you see there. But if the money comes sooner, it'll obviously be drastically different than that. So we're really just to take that plan. We're really just looking to accelerate that plan by 2 years. So we bring on the $25 million. What happens then? There's really 2 paths that you go from here as a company. Raise 25 million, you aggressively pursue distribution growth, get revenue as high as possible, get as wide as we can with the capital that we have, right? Because you're going to take that money and put it all to growth, all of it to growth. You're going to achieve profitability or the capability for profitability in that process, but it's all going to go to grow. Your options at the end of that growth are to say, okay, we spent $25 million to open up 20 markets, $5 million, so what is it, $35 million total. We spent $35 million on brand growth. What is our revenue today? Our revenue is $10, $15 million, maybe it's $30 million. What's the multiple in the category at that time? Try to do a short sell or a strategic alignment with, let's say, a Sazerac. Does Sazerac want to buy the Golden Eagle brand as well as the production facility that we've established, and then basically be the engine that the Golden Eagle team is today, our sales and marketing engine. Sazerac basically takes over the IP of the brand. They take ownership of the production facility if that's what we negotiate, and they lead the brand growth from there. My vision is to, obviously, there's 3 ways. 1, sell the brand and IP entirely along with all of its assets. 2, strategic partnership and alignment. Or 3, if we build this production facility, get 5 white label contracts for some incredible production houses or some hospitality groups, why not let's just start rolling out other SKUs? Why not make a Golden Eagle bourbon? Why not make a single malt? Why not make a whiskey? If everybody at that time goes, you know what? Let's just do this thing and make it a cash play. We can evolve our strategy from being a quick exit and liquidation play to now let's focus on profit and growth, right? And there's other conversations about turning into a supplier company and how can we just be the next Sazerac that focuses on authentic American-made product production. So all kinds of ways we can go, right? Somebody's got to have another one. Or Dan. It just says Dan's here. He's like, no,
they all know you. Right?
No, they all know you. They're like, you're here, so you're scared with your presence.
So a moment ago you alluded that in Europe there are some similar vodka?
100%. How Golden Eagle is produced is the original methodology for producing vodka. Eastern European style vodkas are ingredient driven, naturally flavorful, and distilled to showcase its ingredients. America was the first country to say, no, we're going to make vodka a completely neutral spirit because we don't want it to compete with the gin category, the rum category, which really stemming from the rum category, which is obviously owned by the Bacardi family, which is obviously deeply still a mafia engagement, right? So it was always a category that was boxed into this tasteless, odorless segment, but traditional vodka was never supposed to be that way. When the TTB changed it, they didn't change it because any weird inside lobbying influence. They did it to empower small batch distillers to start opening at frequency. If a vodka is only able to be tasteless, small batch producers, local mom and pop distillery A, B, and C, they're unable to take their vodkas to market because they showcase the spirit too much. So in 2021, the TTB lifted that designation to empower that sort of small batch distillery vitality. Obviously creates tax revenue, but that sort of changed the opportunity. So there's a ton of energy around this estate vodka, character vodka category right now because of the legislation change. We are just the first company to effectively brand that category as character vodka. It's trademarked. We own the trademark and the rights and copyright to character vodka, the pioneer of character vodka, American character vodka. There are people that have tried to position themselves as this before with kind of unique product, but Golden Eagle is unapologetically a unique product. Like you taste it, you're like, there's no way that's vodka. So it's working.
You can change logo?
It's actually a conversation right now, but obviously there's a trademarked asset, ultra premium vodka. Ultra premium is really indicative of the price point, but we're talking about changing it to American character vodka or premium character vodka, right? Just based on
Golden Eagle, that's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's different people in the industry have different opinions on the premium, ultra premium, character craft sort of positioning. You kind of want to stay ambiguous when you get into international export conversation and stuff. Yeah.
If you keep talking, we can have a pig eating an eagle.
What was that?
That would be the name of it, pig eating an eagle.
Where are we at?
Well,
Okay. Yes, sir.
I just had a question regarding kind of the flavor and the taste.
Yeah.
Like if I were to communicate to someone else, first off, I love the product. It does exactly what I intended to do when I drink it. But what's
Unless you're drinking Deliverance, it works well. Is it 15% not as good?
what's the difference between, I know the wheat and the flavor and the texture or whatever is different than potatoes or other vodkas that come from grapes. But what are some of the benefits or what are some of the benefits from utilizing the wheat versus how other vodkas do?
There are only production benefits, there are no health benefits. So vodka has really no health impact at all. I mean, obviously, besides all the liver stuff, right? But vodka is the cleanest spirit in the category. The production benefit of using the wheat that we use is it is a high protein dense grain. The more protein in a commodity, the more flavor is present in the final distillate. So most vodkas, the category is made up of really 3 primary grain sources. Corn is obviously a major U.S. small batch commodity. Obviously we all know Tito's, and then most small distilleries buy corn because corn is an extremely accessible and cheap grain. Corn is very harsh. You have to distill it multiple times to get rid of this sort of early pungent and oftentimes sour taste if you don't distill it, as many times as corn products typically are. Potato is really oily and often dirty, so that's why it's distilled a minimum of 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Temperature of production obviously matters in that conversation, but Golden Eagle is I think wheat vodkas are the best. So any vodka, I love Kettle One. Kettle One's amazing. Grey Goose is pretty good. Belvedere is probably also up there. But those are made from white wheats or winter wheats, which yield about 3 to 5% protein in the result of that grain. So they're planted in the winter, they grow over the winter and the snow, and then they're harvested in the spring. So winter wheats have a lower protein yield than Golden Eagle, which is a hard red spring variety. Hard red spring is a class of the 6 major classes we're going to get into a master class here, and I know Dan will kill me, but there's 6 major varieties or classes of wheat. Golden Eagle is produced with hard red spring wheat, which is the highest protein of the wheat classes. Dark Northern is a variety of the hard red spring class that is exclusive to Big Sky, Montana. We have an independent partnership agreement with a family farm in Montana who produces and has been producing this grain for about 100 years, and it is the highest protein wheat variety on planet Earth. So the most protein equals the most flavor. So ultimately how we found this grain was, let's find the most flavorful grain in the world and distill it the least amount of times to give us a vodka that has the richest, most complex, most unique flavor profile. That's exactly kind of the formula. Yeah.
Do you often get people say that it has an aftertaste or a taste of tequila?
Tastes like tequila?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. If there's 4 people standing in front of me, these 2 haven't had Golden Eagle and these 2 have. Or these 2, sorry, nobody's had Golden Eagle. These 2 hate vodka, and these 2 love vodka. The 2 that hate vodka taste Golden Eagle and go, man, that is so good. I didn't know vodka could taste like this. The 2 that love vodka is 50-50. The one that loves vodka, one of them that loves vodka goes, no, this has like a taste to it. I want my vodka to taste like fingernail polish. And then the other one goes, damn, that's kind of sweet. because we leave mostly the residual sugar and flavor from that wheat commodity inside the bottle, as opposed to over distilling it and removing it. So absolutely it has present flavor. Some say agave, some say vanilla, sweet cream, bread, brioche. It's a confectionery flavor profile, as a lot of somms or us nerds would say.
All right, one question. I think all the investors in Golden Eagle are worried about one thing, and God forbid Dan Nieto stop drinking vodka. How is that going to impact your sentence?
If Dan stops drinking vodka, that's a great question. Honestly, Dan is our #1 e-commerce consumer. Dan has a lifetime in perpetuity. I think it's called Vodka King. That's we were gonna make him a shirt, but we didn't want to boost his ego more than it already is. No, I'm just kidding. Dan is obviously a tremendous advocate of Golden Eagle and so are you, which leads me into a little bit of a segue. We are so extremely valuable and so grateful for everybody in this room. I don't look at you guys, of course, I treat you like shareholders and my responsibility to the business as a fiduciary, but I don't look at you like that. Like, I look at this room and I'm like, oh, these are my family friends. These are the people who made this idea go from nothing to really something. So other rooms and boardrooms, yes, I feel like I have to be like this. Yes, let's talk about the data. Here, I feel like I'm talking to family, right? So we're extremely grateful for your partnership. And obviously your advocacy for the product. Everybody who buys product online, we're so grateful for you. I think we have discount codes for everybody online. If you do not have a discount code, we need to get you a discount code. If you're not a Golden Eagle investor, you're gonna get a discount code just by being a part of PIG. So anybody who isn't part of PIG, that's not a Golden Eagle investor, we're gonna give you a discount. Whatever our discount is, FIG, I don't even know what it is, but let's make it 5% more. Forever, we're just gonna do that. And then as you see on the card in front of you guys, there is, now I'm looking at the cards, not the flyer. The flyers for you guys to take and read, you've probably seen it before, but it's an updated version. One, this is the gifting. So obviously you've seen the super elevated gift boxes we do. A lot of people in this business are in mortgages, real estate, this and that, all the other things. We've established some awesome partnerships. We have a partnership with Rolls-Royce in California. So if you buy a Rolls-Royce from O'Gara Coach, you're gonna get a Golden Eagle gift box with Rolls-Royce engraved glassware and bottles. It's pretty sick. So we want to do that and create that opportunity for those of us in the room who are in real estate and mortgages. If you're in car sales or boat sales, whatever you do, we'll call this the concierge gifting program. We do not do this for the public because regulatory compliance makes it extremely difficult to do so. But we're creating a program basically, if you're in the business of mortgages and Ross says I'm going to close 50 deals in Q4, Ross emails gifting at Golden Eagle and it's a concierge on the other side that says, awesome Ross, 50 deals, it's an amazing number, good job. And we're going to set up basically an inventory for Ross. So Ross closed the deal, he's gonna send an email to the gifting portal and our team is gonna create a customized, personalized note for that person. If you want a custom bottle engraving, we'll make sure we engrave it and then we'll drop ship it from our warehouse for you. So if that's something you guys wanna do for gifting, Christmas gifts, corporate gifts, anything like that, that opportunity is available, so we wouldn't come talk to us. We only have like 400 boxes left in inventory, but we're gonna do a big order here soon because we have a couple partnerships, but wanted to kind of get a preliminary commitment from people. If that's anything you're interested in, let us know, and we can dial you in on that front. The other card is an articulation of the offer and all the things we're gonna do for our investors. Share that with your friends. Hey, if you invest $10,000 in Golden Eagle, they're gonna give you all these gifts. We wanted to do that for you because obviously we really appreciate this group. This is not something we do for anybody else. And Dan told me that if I don't spend money on gifts, that nobody's going to invest, and he'll kill me. So we're going to do the awesome gifting program. We've increased some of the gifts and made it really special for you guys. So.
Give it up for Dakota. I just whispered in Dakota's ear that I've known him for 2+ years. That's the best version of Dakota like I've ever seen. He's really evolved, which is really great.